Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of this wonderful comics podcast. I guess I'm host John Seiler.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed, if you guys haven't noticed, Lou is not here. Lou kind of heard about Swinger Ben and May, and he just lost it, so he asked us to take over.
I mean,
yeah, we're the NWO right now. We're taking over.
New Comics World Order.
Yeah. So this week there hasn't been like a huge amount of news, but like the news that we do have is pretty substantial.
Yeah, I mean, with this week, it's Spider-Man is coming out this week. That's the big one. But other than that, we do have two rather big pieces. If you guys want to start off, I know John, you put in both pieces, so I'll let you start that off.
I guess we'll get like the lesser of the two out of the way. Is that Marvel announced they're bringing back Marvel Zombies in October. No creative team from what I've seen has been announced. It seems like a little funny. Sorry, that they're like announcing this book the same week that Walking Dead is officially ending, and also while Deceased is kind of lighting up the world over on DC side.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like anyone was really asking for Marvel Zombies to return. Do either of you guys have any kind of like fond memories of Marvel Zombies?
I it's like I was such an edgy 12-year-old when I saw those. And I was really engrossed by the books, but they also kind of gave me nightmares, and I was a little too immature to admit that. But I have not read anything since. I went back and I watched a YouTube recap on what the whole story ended up turning out to be, and I don't see why we're getting more. I don't see anybody like screaming down the streets for more Marvel Zombies.
Because Marvel wants to capitalize on that spooky season money.
I guess, but like, I don't think they have any horror books attached to them, do they? I'm asking as the uneducated.
I'm also uneducated. From what I know of, no.
Marvel does not have any horror books out right now.
Yeah, I guess they could be like trying to grab that holiday money, but they already have so much money. Do they even have to really worry about 1 month?
I mean, like I feel like if they wanted to do throwback horror, it's like there's Damon Hellstrom you could bring back. There's Dracula. You could do like a really cool new Dracula.
I mean, they got Blade.
No, they got Morbius.
I mean, I don't want more Morbius. That's the thing. I want them to forget about that.
Goddamn movie.
Or they could do like a new Midnight Suns comic.
What are the Midnight Suns?
The Midnight Suns was like a supernatural super team. It was basically like Blade and Damon Hellstrom and Werewolf by Night and Ghost Rider.
Cool. Okay.
That sounds cool. I was gonna say I would want a Blade Ghost Rider crossover, like mini series.
Yeah.
I believe that was all, but yeah, the Midnight Suns were like a really big comic from the 80s. Okay, so looking at the members, you got Damon Hellstrom, Jennifer Cale, Morbius, Werewolf by Night, Danny Ketch, Johnny Blaze, Doctor Strange, Topaz, and Black Cat. I believe Black Cat is probably like a later entry.
Mm-hmm.
Black Cat's not like super well known within those books, so. But, yeah, I'm kind of surprised they haven't like brought out that team. Like there was like kind of like an inkling that they might have done something during Damnation, because like they had like a team of Blade, Dr. Voodoo, Elsa Bloodstone, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, and Man-Thing.
Okay, that's another pretty cool combo.
But who knows? Yeah, Marvel Zombies. Woo!
Woo! I guess. Hooray!
Yay! I mean, I haven't read the actual series. My only memory is seeing ads for it in Wizard magazine. And I miss Wizard, but that's another
Man,
story.
Wizard.
Well, and then like I wasn't like super interested early on in that, but then you had Fred Van Lente kind of take over, and the main characters of that book became Howard the Duck and Machine Man. And at a time where Aaron Stack wasn't showing up in anything, and this was post Next Wave, it was like pretty cool, you know. But I don't think that's the role. I don't think that's like the route that they're going to take this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it literally got to cosmic scapes or scopes in the end of the original series. So I don't know. Maybe they'll bring them over to this universe, make it a crisis event. Who knows?
That being said, though, I just found out there's a Marvel Zombies Army of Darkness as an Evil Dead 3 Army of Darkness crossover, which I now want to read.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I remember it being fine.
Yeah,
like,
that
not
also
amazing.
sounds about right. Yeah.
All right, but let's move on to the bigger of the two news pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Robert Kirkman went on Twitter and was like, hey, there's a big surprise about The Walking Dead 193 that comes out on Wednesday. Like, don't be spoiled. And it's like, oh, like, don't be spoiled on, like, you know, whatever happens in the book. And it was revealed that the book is ending.
Nice. I love that.
So, which is like, well, okay, so it's very weird that they do like this stealth cancellation or like stealth ending of the book, because I guess, you know, technically it wasn't canceled.
Mhm.
But you had fake solicitations being put out for this book for like the last 2 months, for a book that's like not even, you know, gonna come out. But I think it's like cool in a sense that's surprising to fans. I think this totally sucks for comic shop owners because like this is like a book that Walking Dead is not as popular as it used to be. And I think like a lot of shops that were ordering like 20s and 30s of, you know, Walking Dead at its height, have, you know, I think those numbers have probably dropped down to about 10s and 8s, and that's me guessing. Based off of the numbers of what I've seen working at a shop of books like that go towards. So if you're running like 8, but then you're going to have the basically the amount of people that you had your height coming in looking for this last issue, which is not going to be there. So basically, like, Image for a series that's not as big as it used to be is artificially inflating the want for this comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically putting shops in a bind.
Yeah.
Because now they're only getting like 8 copies, and 50 people are going to fight over those 8 copies.
And I just saw like a story today that this issue is already sold at Diamond, and this issues are going for $15 a piece.
Oh yeah, no, they're only going to go up.
Yeah,
if I want to get that last issue, I'm going to get the omnibus.
Yeah, you know, or if like you're someone who still buys Walking Dead month by month, like hopefully your comic shop guy is like pretty cool and, you know, puts that issue in your hold or holds it to the side for you, because, you know, you don't want to like be that guy who didn't show up like right when opening and all the books are sold out, and then you have to pay a premium for a book that is all of a sudden hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a big argument with someone in a different Facebook group about this issue because Robert Kirkman was trying to play cute and coy with like basically whatever was going to happen, and he used the word spoiler, and then, you know, it's revealed that this book is ending. Do you consider a book, like the news of a book ending, to be a spoiler?
No.
If it's in a manner like this, yes, I do.
I don't, and maybe it's because... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, but I also understand the necessity of having this open. If this were the perfect world and this story was free to everyone who wanted to read it when they could instantly, I think this is a beautiful way to kind of illustrate the finality of the way the story's been told. But the way John has kind of spent the last few minutes explaining and showing examples of, this is really putting people in a hard spot. And I feel like there should have been more notice. This shouldn't have been the last issue, sadly. As much as I like the suddenness of it, I don't like what it's going to do to these people, especially the casual fan who can't pick up the book right away.
Mm-hmm.
No, exactly. And this is my only thing is I'm kind of going off of more of the TV show is that the TV show kind of does these same sort of like tactics where they're like, oh, something big's gonna happen, something's gonna happen, and it's like trying to hype up their ratings, like on ratings and comic sales, two different things entirely. But it just smells of that.
It definitely smells of that, but I feel like this is still of a better ilk than what like AMC will do, where you get the mid-season finale for the mid-season already. That's like 5 episodes in or whatever.
You know,
you get, like a cliffhanger.
Like, I got into a big argument because I believe that's like, I'm not talking about any of the contents of the book. Talking about the contents of a book is totally 100% spoiler. Like, but to discuss that a book is ending, like, that's absurd. Like, there's no way you can, like, at least to me, you could say that that's a spoiler. You know, on the flip side, Robert Kirkman had a book come out last year called Die, Die, Die. That was surprise to comic shops. It was something that they didn't order. It basically, you got like X amount of copies of Die, Die, Die based off the orders that you had for, I think it was Outcast or Oblivion Song, or no, it's not Oblivion Song. What's that other Robert Kirkman book that no one gives a shit about?
No, I think it
not
is
the one-
Oblivion Song.
Yeah,
Because like
okay.
I have both of the issues of that, and it's really just okay.
And so you got those into the shop, and I asked him, like, okay, this is a surprise book that goes into a comic book store. It's not solicited. You're not supposed to know about it. You're supposed to show up to the shop day one, and it's supposed to be there. You know, like, would you consider that a spoiler to tell people, you know, that this secret book is going to be at shops? Because it's the same deal. It's supposed to be a complete surprise, but it's not. It's a marketing tactic.
Yeah, I guess that is a very good point. I just
At least this means now the TV show has an ending in sight, maybe. So, yay!
no AMC will milk that forever.
Oh, god damn it!
It's gonna be the next Coronation Street, dude. You like mark my words. We're looking at seasons of it.
I know. It's just that show should have ended ages ago.
I mean, not until they get a show to replace it, I guess.
Yeah, well, HBO's been trying to do that for Game of Thrones for a couple years now, and nothing's really landed. I don't think AMC is going to have any more of a chance.
I thought, like, Watchmen was going to, like, launch the week after Game of Thrones ended.
That's what I thought. I would think at least summer.
That would have been a beautiful way to do it.
But I don't watch HBO. Like, I don't really care about Game of Thrones. I don't really care about Watchmen. Like, I heard more. Like, it was funny because I heard a bunch of people talking about how they were going to cancel their AMC or their HBO subscription, and then a couple days later, like, those same people were gushing over Chernobyl.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had that last look, and they were like, "Oh, what's this?" And then they get another month full of HBO, and they get their $8.
Oh boy.
No, that's the other one. Don't worry, that one comes out in November. Yeah, no, then that one will get everybody's $12.
Probably like 6.
Yeah, well, it's just how it works. But anyway, back to The Walking Dead. I don't think... I don't know. I haven't paid attention to The Walking Dead comics in, God, like 5 years, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Does anybody?
No, and it's only because I've only stopped at the 3rd massive collection.
Okay.
I read the first volume, and I thought it was, like, pretty okay. You know, I was more into it for the Terry Moore, or not Terry, Tony Moore art. whoever's typing, I can hear you typing really loudly.
Oh, that's me. I apologize.
Oh,
It's
it's
all
fine. And I was like, oh, this Tony Moore art's like pretty cool. And then and nothing against like Charlie Adlard, but it's not the same. And I was like immediately just kind of like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. It definitely hits that point where you're like, why? Well, why are you doing this? Yeah, I couldn't get past like I think it was issue 15 or not issue 15, volume 15, I think. And then I just kind of stopped paying attention. So I don't blame anybody for not, because anything that goes on for 193 monthly issues, I think it tends to kind of drone on.
I mean, Hellblazer was pretty good, and that went for like.
Okay, there are exceptions to the point.
So
Like,
I just looked, and I'm looking at Compendium, the fourth one. It's going to collect issues 145 to 192. Are they going to adjust that, or are we just going to have to get 193 as its own separate thing?
They're just going to have to get 193 as its own separate thing.
It also wouldn't surprise me if they add 193 into it, because
that's what I'm thinking.
To basically like keep up the gimmick.
Okay, that's a good point.
That's fair. That's fair, because it comes out at the end in on October, so it's got a while. They could very easily add 193 in.
I mean, they could have already done it.
It's true.
I mean, the book comes out on Wednesday. It's probably already done and finished. At least I hope so.
It's just like half of it's finished, and then the other is just blank white pages, and then the end is Robert Kirkman pointing and laughing at you.
All right, this isn't a Kanye album. I hope there's like a little bit more production value.
Hey, maybe this book will end with aliens.
Man, that'd be wild.
Because that was the joke. That was the joke for like the longest time, that he was gonna, he wouldn't let the book get to a point where like aliens would show up.
Oh yeah,
like
that would be kind of funny.
There was even like in the 100th issue, there was like a cutaway gag that was drawn by the Invincible artist, where it was like, oh, like he wakes up in the hospital and aliens are attacking.
Good.
At least I think that was issue 100. I could be wrong.
Well, as long as it was drawn, that's all that matters.
So I assume that's probably like the end of like talking about Walking Dead.
Yeah, I'm shambling for other things to say.
Yeah. Pun intended. So I mean, like the only other thing I have to talk about is I'm going to Anime Expo this weekend.
Nice. Anything cool going on there?
I've been going there for work, but they have like a lot of guests there this year, like they do every year. The big thing I'm kind of excited for is that they're going to have the debut of Promare, which is the new animated film from Trigger, and it's the same creative like triumvirate between Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann.
Oh, hell yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have the day off, or I basically am going to be able to go to that panel and go. And they're basically also going to announce like a new project while there. But yeah, they have a bunch of different guests.
Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. It's like they have the creator of Oran High School Host Club. They have like the creator of Dr. Stone. They have the creator for that one anime that people love about the girl who's like,
that's a lot.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I'm at a loss. I'm sorry.
It's bad. You don't have to.
It's all good. Okay, that's all I needed to know.
So the other big thing I wanted to say that did get announced is both Marvel and DC have announced their comic plans. If you're going to San Diego Comic-Con this year,
I am not.
if anyone out there listening is, and I don't know what that viewership looks like, but anyway, so I guess the things they're announcing is that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be in Hall H.
of Shield.
There's going to be a Batman experience where you get to fist fight the Rogues Gallery.
Like
I
really?
thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like a Batman experience where they
Like
kill
do they have like a 600-pound bodybuilder? Like
It's an
Like-
interactive punching bag that utilizes projection mapping and lighting the trigger. And no, it's not real, unfortunately.
I was really hoping it was like just some people fighting some nerds.
That'd be amazing. I would pay money just to do that.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
And then I think they're for DC Universe. I think to kind of offset with the whole Swamp thing, they're like, "Here, come to our members only brunch that we're hosting on a yacht." I thought was kind of wild, but yeah, I'm like looking more for the comic stuff, and I know that stuff exists. It's just I don't know what it is.
All right, why are we not talking about brunch on a yacht? Why do you need to have brunch on a yacht?
Because fuck you, that's why.
They're all weird nerds in cargo pants and graphics tees. I know, I'm among them. Like, we don't deserve to be on yachts.
I'm gonna double check if it was because I had read it was a yacht, and if it is, oh yeah, then they're premiering Batman Hush is gonna premiere there.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I'd like to see that.
DC Universe members can go into a chance to attend a private DCU member brunch on a yacht in the San Diego Marina with surprise talent appearances and special giveaways.
That's the most like San Diego Comic-Con thing I can think of.
I mean, also VIP tickets to attend Batman's induction in the Comic-Con Museum Hall of Fame.
Actually, you know what that is. I take the previous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute, hold on there for a second.
And let me guess, that VIP status costs at least $100 more.
Probably.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything on price. It just says you have a chance to partake in.
You have a chance to partake. Great. All right. Is there any other big news? I'm not the comic book guy, sadly.
There is none.
Okay,
It's a
I'll take
very short, slow week for this 4th of July week.
I can imagine.
It's 4th of July and it's Spider-Man week.
Yeah, which I saw Spider-Man today. It's not bad. There you go. There's a review.
Yeah, no, you were saying that.
Actually, there is like one other thing to say. If you plan on seeing it, within the foreseeable future, do not go online, read any reviews. Don't look up anything.
I was planning on
Historically, like, I think in the last couple of years, the post-credits sequence, which there are 2 of, have been kind of like, oh, like, they're fine, but, it's like nothing big. Like, these are huge. Like,
yeah, I kind of expected them to do that because we don't know what's going on after Spider-Man.
Yeah,
so I was hoping we would hear this.
Yeah, they're both very big. They will, like, yeah, it kind of changes a lot of stuff. Do not, like, if you do not want to get spoiled and you want to be authentic to the viewing experience, just avoid it and go see the movie.
Yeah, that's what I plan on.
All I've heard is that from others without spoil. I haven't heard what it is. I've just heard that you need to stay for these credit sequences. I had a friend text me. He's like, I cannot wait until you see this tomorrow morning, until you text me and tell me what you just thought of it.
And you guys know me, like, I'm not like a guy who like will clap in a theater or be like, fan service. Oh, this is great. Like, I legit like had my hands in the air and clapped. Like, I was
cool.
It's like one of those kind of moments.
Cool.
Oh shit!
All right, that's. I really like hearing that. I'm very
speaking of Spider-Man, I guess do we roll right into the topic?
Spider-Man. I need pictures of Spider-Man.
What's the topic?
Oh, professionalism. We knew. I think we had said we were going to talk about favorite Spider-Man stories.
Oh yeah, I got some of those off the top of my head.
I've got one big one off the top of my head that I didn't look up.
Is it Superior Spider-Man?
It's Superior Spider-Man.
It is not. It is Craven's Last Hunt.
God damn it! That was my one.
I actually never read Craven's Last Hunt.
I like it. It's one of the first Spider-Man I read.
Yeah, it has that too, but it has that image of Spider-Man. Like, so the basic story of this is that this is like during the Black Suit era, and this is kind of when, Craven, hunts down Spider-Man. He seemingly shoots him dead, buries him, and dons a copy of the suit to try to prove himself superior at Spider-Man's activities. But there's a shot when Spider-Man like literally crawls out of his own grave that might be like the one image I remember most of Spider-Man comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty Spider-Man, so it fits the criteria.
It is pretty Spider-Man, and I feel like, again, like I said, like I mentioned that Craven was like one of my favorite villains that we mentioned in last week's episode. This comic was a big reason why he's one of my favorites.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, it's a great comic, and it's like all around. He gets to be the hero. He gets like a little bit of drama, self-reflection, all the good hero aspects.
Exactly. I mean, then Craven's Death one was my other one, but if I'm going to pick one, but yeah. Actually, no, never mind. This was part of that. I thought it was two separate stories, but that just Craven's last kind of...
Craven's Last Stand.
Last Hunt.
Last Hunt. Yeah, you know what? I'm close enough.
But yeah, so that was my big one I was going to go over, was that one. That's kind of my favorite.
I mean, like, I really love Superior. I still think that book is just like super great. I really love like the Grim Hunt, or not the Grim Hunt, but also along with the Gauntlet. I thought was great. It was like a really good, like, this was like post Brand New Day, a couple years into it, where you kind of get like a new take, or new costumes, new power sets, new motivations for like a lot of different villains. And so you had stuff with like Electro, Rhino, Lizard, Mysterio, and this all like kind of was like led up to a, Batman Nightfall-esque kind of story that led to Craven with the Grim Hunt, and that all is like pretty great. I think the only kind of like bad story in it is like there's like a 2 or 3 page, or not 2 or 3 page, but 2 or 3 issue story involving the Juggernaut that I don't think is very good. It's not as good as like Nothing Stops the Juggernaut, which is like a classic Spider-Man story. But I also, it's like a lot of like Spider-Man stories I end up really liking all end up being like these one-shot stories, or a couple page stories, like the one where this homeless girl. I forget what the issue is. I'll have to look it up. But it's like it's like a short story about this homeless girl who loves Spider-Man. Inside her box that she lives in, there's like all these like pictures of Spider-Man, and it's like a kind of a throwback to the kid who collects Spider-Man, but it's, which like every writer I feel like kind of like tries to do like one of those kind of stories, but it's always like very sweet and kind of highlights the neighborhood friendly Spider-Man aspect.
That's kind of the best part about like Spider-Man, is that he's a hero in brevity. He is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's there to just help out.
Which by the way is kind of the giant motivation for the new Spider-Man movie, is that he's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but now he's like one of the only big heroes left.
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
He has been to space. But like, that's literally the revelation he comes to at the end of Homecoming. He's like, hey, I just need to stay at the bottom for a bit and like hang out and just keep the everyman safe. And now I'm all up in it. So, pretty cool. I don't know. For one of my issues that like I really like, it was one my dad gave me when I was first getting into like reading in general. He used to collect when he was much younger, so throughout like the late 80s and 90s, and he gave me Spider-Man's volume, I don't know, It was the Perceptions arc in the 90s, between 91 and throughout 91. It was by Todd McFarlane, so you can expect a certain amount of lines. And it pretty much deals with like Spider-Man coming to Canada, and he actually comes to my hometown of like Vancouver and Chilliwack and Hope and like all these really obscure places in the like Fraser Valley where I reside. So I thought it was very cool to see like my areas drawn in comics. But it pretty much it's Spider-Man and Wolverine hunting down a Wendigo. And they're kind of like hunting down and looking for this creature that apparently like hunts kids and kills them. And it's super like, it's very Todd McFarlane, obviously. It's like grimy, gritty, made by 1,000 dark nails and whips and chains and stuff. So, kind of explains a lot about my dad in the long run. But regardless, it was drawn very well, and it got me very interested in comics and the more serious quote unquote take on heroes. I do still kind of prefer the lighter hearted Spider-Man. I will be honest. But yeah, it was a very good comic series. Also, like, you should see the horns on this Wolverine costume. Boy, he's got some horns.
Oh boy.
Oh, I also really love the Return of the Sinister Six. Which was like a story from the super early 90s. It was basically about Otto putting the band back together and trying to, reform the Sinister Six. And so like the new Sinister Six is Vulture, Otto, Mysterio, Sandman, Electro, and the Hobgoblin. And he like he puts together this plan, and he steals and he like modifies this like a satellite, and he he shoots it into space, and it versus like this like toxic thing that makes a bunch of people sick. But his plan actually was that he created a cure for cocaine addiction.
What?
What? And his plan was to he would make a thing that would make people convulse if they were using cocaine. And so it would kind of just cure people of cocaine addiction through I don't want it, I love cocaine, but I hate, what I don't love is seizures. So
that's how you do it.
So his plan was he would basically get people addicted to cocaine and then sell the cure at a price.
So it was a double cocaine addiction.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I found this breakdown. First, Doc creates a formula that makes the human body instantly convulse when using cocaine. He uses that he releases that to the world. The cocaine addicts who need cocaine but fear the convulsions must pay Doc for a formula to reverse the cure's effects. That way, he would corner the market on cocaine addicts.
This sounds wild. I'm just listening to this. I'm like,
that's my jam.
Yeah, I first heard about this story being described on War Rocket Ajax as this story about Doc Ock's cocaine rocket. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Doc Ock's cocaine rocket is that's so good.
The art is it's David David Michelini, art by Eric Larson, Savage Dragon guy, with and the arc is called The Return of the Sinister Six, and it's The Amazing Spider-Man number 334.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm literally looking at this right now. I literally typed in Doc Ock cocaine, and I'm like,
you're on a list now, buddy. Sorry.
They all know it's Spider-Man. It's fine.
Hell yeah. Alright. Hell yeah.
Yep. So that's it for me.
That's Spider-Man right there. You know what? Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
You know what?
So
I kind of want. I kind of wish the Spider-Man video game had this subplot.
Oh, that's
yeah,
that's
it
for,
would make me like it a lot more.
See, the thing is, this story is so much bigger than like a DLC packet. They have to make a whole nother game for it.
It's just a sequel.
It's
Forget
so
all
big.
the stuff we set up like in post credits and throughout the end of the game. Nah, we gotta do this part.
No, well, no, that's the thing. It's like that black tentacle that like grabs at you from the thing. That's the cocaine cure. It's coming at you. Going for the face. It's trying to get the cocaine out of your system. Anybody else have Spider-Man thoughts?
No, I'm good.
I'm Spider-Man'd out.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I think that'd probably be good to like drop it here. You know, it's a short week anyways.
Yeah, this was gonna be a short episode in general. This was never
Sandwich.
gonna be.
I also still need a pack.
Yeah, no, I'm beat too. All our excuses.
Yeah. So, you can find. Oh my god, let me see if I can remember all this. You can find more at Los Haro Podcast Network
Yeah.
at losharopodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
I am John Seiler. You can find me at John JOHN_FN_Seiler, SEILER, where I talk about stuff that's going on at work. I guess get into arguments with people about using stolen images for their reviews.
Yeah, no, that was fair though. That was a really good point you made.
And I'll probably be also just talking about everything that'll be happening with me at Anime Expo this weekend, which should be a complete madhouse. So whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Go ahead. I'll go last.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Question Connor. You can find me on Instagram at Maybe Connor. I write for Los Haro Games at losharo.wordpress.com. I think that's right. I don't have Alan or Lou here to correct me if it's wrong, so why bother? And that's it.
I'm John Scott. You can find me on Twitter at jmscott193. Just my general musings on film and all kind of fun stuff like that. I'll just promote the other episodes of podcasts. I know the boys just finished the Spider-Man's Raimi trilogy with their movie specials. So if you want to go check that out, all that's out now. And yeah, that's about it.
Our brothers in pop culture arms.
Our brothers in pop culture arms. I have not gotten a chance to hit the Spider-Man 3 episode yet, but
they probably talk about that dance scene.
I kind of like want to revisit Spider-Man 3 and like come to terms as like, is this movie worse than Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is never going to be the low point of Spider-Man movies.
Because I really love the opening of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, I think up until seeing Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe, I think the opening of Amazing Spider-Man 2 is like the best action of any of the Spider-Man movies.
Okay, true.
But the rest of that movie is like a total like flop. And with Spider-Man 3, it's like I remember also like not really enjoying that movie a whole lot, but there's like little things I remember about that movie that are just like kind of fun.
Like I said,
but not great.
Like it feels like a Sam Raimi like movie.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still a Raimi movie, and I'll tell you, like when I'm sick and I'm in bed and I just need to watch a movie, I pop Spider-Man 3 on and just like pass out due to a Dayquil coma watching that show, because you know what? It's campy. That's about it.
I mean, it's Spider-Man 3, as goofy as it is, gave us, I think, like the best kind of memes, like that fix this damn door. I still think is one of the funniest things out there right now.
Okay, nothing will be funnier than Spider-Man 2's It's Pizza Time, and you can't argue otherwise.
I mean,
Or
that
Spider-Man. In Spider-Man 3 when he's eating the pie.
Ooh,
And he's
okay.
so good.
Pie's so good.
This pie is so good.
I was gonna say that the stereotypical Italian pizza music in the Spider-Man 2 video game kind of goes up there.
I mean, just Spider-Man 2 in general is really good.
Cheesy, but really good.
Well, yeah, that's because I already said that. I said really good. All really good things are kind of cheesy. That's the best part. You need a little bit of crunch with the like seriousness. You know? Other than that, I think that wraps all of this up in a nice little Spider-Man bow tie.
Wouldn't it be a web bow?
Hey, man. Maybe.
That'll do for us, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see you when I guess we'll see you. So
Have a good holiday.
yeah. Don't blow your hands off.
Unless you're from the UK, then haha, we won.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but if you look outside now, did we win?
I mean, like, comparatively, the both of you are kind of fucked. And that's coming from me, the neutral, still kind of fucked middle ground. We're sandwiched between you two.
Well, Canada is America's hat.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I can't deny that.
Yep. Wear us with pride.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Love you, bye.
Welcome to the Phantom Zone.